Well, trading has closed on May 20th, 2025. We'll always start with our disclaimer. We'll go over our calls, make our predictions. My trading plan for Wednesday, which is May 21st, 2025. Please remember, I can change my plan. My plan can be wrong. Trade at your own risk. Look for the pattern with the early high, which is this tomorrow, has the early low. We had a higher target, 59.68.62. I wasn't certain it was going to print, and it didn't. We also made the case for this being a top, and so far that's held, but of course that's just today. It's a reminder of what we said. Tomorrow has the early low. During the day, the morning gave an ultimate sell and an ultimate buy signal in the same pattern. We have traded lower. We have traded higher. That's played out. We got a sell signal in the afternoon. It got the minimum immediately, but nothing requires us to stop at the minimum, and that's played out too. We still have a DeMark combo sell signal indicating this could be an area of a top, but until we really start reversing down with some kind of authority, you just don't know if you're gonna, if this works at all, you don't know if it's gonna correct in terms of price or in terms of time, if it even works. But so far, so good. How about tomorrow? We're still holding at this resistance, and still we can break through and maintain it, and the whole idea falls apart, but so far that's holding. This still is a valid count, but you break higher, that falls apart. So far that's holding. I'm not going to change it as long as it works. But what we have today is gapping down, lower low, and this close is over all the lows. Now time doesn't see all these lows to be closed over all of them. So that's a rejection of this drop. Now I don't know where we open tomorrow. We open down here, all is forgiven. But for right now, when you can't gap down, hit lower lows, close over all your lows, unless you invalidate the pattern by gapping in either direction, taking this out early, this is a bullish pattern, should lead to higher prices. It's not a guarantee that you close higher, but it should trade higher. Now let's not forget, this is a wall, this is a gap, and these things tend to fill pretty quickly. And if it doesn't fill today, it'll usually fill by tomorrow's open. Let's try to count from the top, and we'll come back to that. There's no way I'm going to claim this is the only count, but if you have an A and a B, C would equal 2 times A, and here's your 5 waves down, then you're going to have to find some way to count this move up as being completed. Well, if that's the first move up, and if that's 61.8, if this works, we get 100 right at the old high, hitting the target, finding resistance after filling the wall with gap pattern. And if that happens, and if we stop there, it doesn't change the call for a top in this area. So even though I'll be clear, if you just dropped in a straight line, nothing would change if we came back, hit this target, and fill this wall with gap pattern. I'm not saying it has to happen, but that's how much room you have on the upside if we don't take this low out fast. So that's kind of hard for me to get too enthusiastic about holding a position overnight when the downside's a retest of the old high. We're just going to have to see how we open before committing any money to this one. Well, Wednesday's pattern has the early low, which doesn't tell us where we open. We gap down, hit a lower low, but closed over intraday lows. And if that's maintained at the open, that's a bullish pattern. It should lead to higher prices even if we don't close higher. Prices and sentiment indicators continue to be compatible at the top here, but nothing prevents filling the wall with gap pattern near the open tomorrow before resuming the decline. And if instead we maintain a move over that trendline resistance we showed, you could still kill the idea of a top here. Just because it's working so far doesn't mean it's the right idea. I mean, it's really dependent upon this area holding. I mean, we just rally tomorrow, take this out and keep going up, then I have to get out my eraser. So I'm flat overnight. If we gap and take, if we have the gap tomorrow at this level early, I think it's a low risk short position, because if it goes against us, you're pretty close to your stop level. But just because this can happen doesn't mean it has to happen. We make a clearer picture if we did that and then promptly rejected, but I'm just going to pencil that one in. We're just going to say we have the pattern with the early low, but you can't rule out gapping up first and hitting our target. And if we do, it could reject from there. And if we don't, I'm just going to have to see how the morning develops before committing any money. It's a pattern with the early low, and that's today's call.